So let's talk a little bit about FSHD genetics, okay, because they're kind of complicated. All right, so everyone's familiar with the D4Z4 repeat array on chromosome 4. Okay, so you have two chromosome 4s, you have two repeat arrays, and for people without FSHD, these repeats are arrayed in 11 to up to 120 repeat units. And distal to the array, you can either be permissive or non-permissive in the distal subtelomere for FSHD. This whole region is duplicated on chromosome 10, the difference being that chromosome 10 is non-permissive for FSHD. So you have 4 arrays, 2 chromosome 4 arrays and 2 chromosome 10 arrays. And if you do not have FSHD, they all are greater, they're extended and non-contracted. Now, if one of your chromosome 4 arrays is contracted to 10 or fewer, but at least maintaining 1 repeat unit on a permissive chromosome 4, this is FSHD1. Okay, if the contraction is non-permissive chromosome with like a 4B chromosome, this is not FSHD because you cannot make the pathogenic DUX4 gene. Now, there is a very rare case of chromosome 10 FSHD, but that's because of a recombination, and you actually have chromosome 4 fused to chromosome 10, and so that makes it permissive. But that's a very rare case, not often the case. Although the testing that we do, the research testing does pick that up, and good molecular genetic testing does pick this up as well. So this is FSHD1, one contracted array on a permissive chromosome. Okay. Now this contraction though can vary greatly. Okay, you'll see this a lot of people have different repeat units. So if you get a size, it says like 19 kb, that is saying that these two enzymes that cut the DNA, the distance between them is 19,000 bases, etc. And that correlates to a number of repeats. Okay, so you can have FSHD with 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, all the way down to 1 repeat. Okay, if you have no repeats, though, you can't have FSHD because the DUX4 gene is on in the repeat. You need to have DUX4 in order to get FSHD. So you can have all different types of FSHD genetics. Now, in your family, if you, for example, just have say 6 repeat units in your family, anyone with FSHD in your family is going to have the same number of repeat units. Okay, that does not vary within a family. Okay, it varies in the population, right? Different people, different things, but the genetics do not vary within your family. Okay, so this is the different types of FSHD1 genetics. So what about FSHD2? We say that's contraction independent. Okay, FSHD2 is caused by mutations in proteins, most commonly SMCHD1, mutation in genes that encode proteins that turn off the D4Z4 array and prevent DUX4 from being expressed. Okay, but you still need to have a certain size of array, and you still need to be permissive for FSHD. Okay, so this mutation in non-permissive environment is not FSHD. And the array size is between, well, it's actually less than 20. Okay, anything 11 to 20 repeat units is FSHD2, as long as you have one of your SMCHD1 genes mutated. Again, if this is not FSHD2 because you don't meet these second requirements. This is called digenic because there are 2 requirements. Okay, you need to have a permissive FSHD chromosome. FSHD2 permissive means a certain size array, 20 repeat units or less, and a permissive subtelomere and a second mutation in a gene, most commonly SMCHD1. Okay, and so if you just have a mutation in the gene SMCHD1 and you do not, and even though you have FSHD permissive chromosomes, if they're too long, you don't actually have FSHD2. Okay, so FSHD2 is a bit more complicated, and what that's doing, again, the role of the SMCHD1 protein is it is an epigenetic regulator maintaining epigenetic off of the D4Z4 array and keeping the DUX4 gene off. So in FSHD2, you lose epigenetic repression of all 4 chromosome, from the 2 chromosome 4 and the 2 chromosome 10 D4Z4 arrays. So all 4 of these arrays are epigenetically dysregulated due to the mutation in SMCHD1. And if one of these is 20 repeat units or less and permissive, you express DUX4, and that's FSHD2. Okay, so FSHD1 versus FSHD2, you can get that contraction dependent is FSHD1, and really it's more of an epigenetic, strictly epigenetic in FSHD2. Okay, FSHD1 contraction, FSHD2 mutation, and SMCHD1 most often. Thanks.